All right, it's the Wrestling Caucus. I'm Peter A.
I'm Smiley Ariaga.
And today we're going to talk about a very busy and eventful WrestleMania weekend, 2 nights, and a lot has happened. And I really want to start before we get into the WWE stuff, because we all know WrestleMania weekend's full of shows from every promotion you can think of, including Ring of Honor. They did their annual Supercard of Honor, and there were two matches that I watched that really stuck with me. And the first is Athena and Hikaru Shida for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. Did you get to see this at all?
No, I didn't get a chance to. I had like to run some errands before. I was gonna watch before we were recording this, but uh, wait, fucking Hikaru Shida's in Ring of Honor now. She's
I
on
guess so.
TV.
Regardless, how they utilize Hikaru Shida and Athena, that's a separate conversation. But I thought that this match was very well done because they did a lot of callbacks to their previous. They had a program on Shimmer way back, and Hikaru Shida won, and it's essentially just Athena getting revenge. And apparently, Athena is like the longest reigning Ring of Honor Women's Champion ever, but they don't talk about it at all. And Ring of Honor's tucked away on the internet, Honor Club or whatever. So there's no reason, there's no real reason for anyone really to care about this because they don't really talk about it. Um, Again, it was a WrestleMania weekend show, and if you're really interested and you're in town for WrestleMania, this would probably be a good show because I did it last year. Like, I don't watch Ring of Honor TV on Honor Club, and I don't at all.
No, but
But
I
I
I
went.
believe you because like last year when we did watch well the last Ring of Honor, the last show ever that had the Briscoes on it, that match with FTR and the Briscoes, those two, the series they had, that was better than the last three AEW shows we've watched.
To
But
that
they
end,
don't talk about it.
right, to that point, Athena and Hikaru Shida was the best AEW women's match I've seen that wasn't on AEW proper, and it was excellent. And I thought Athena's, I've always thought she was good in the ring, but her character was kind of like, who cares? She really stepped up her character game. She was doing some of the things that Roman Reigns was doing. Great facial expressions and a lot of great trash talking, and she had a lot of intensity. I thought was really good. I would go out of my way to watch it. It was really exciting. I hope they do more of this on AEW proper and show Athena on the proper AEW shows, Dynamite, Collision, Rampage. I don't care, because it's tucked away on a show no one really watches, which is unfortunate. But Mark Briscoe and Eddie Kingston, Ring of Honor title, that was the main event. This was great. It was just like Cody and Roman. It was a similar type of feeling because he won it. It was, I don't know if it was the day of or forgot the story, but it was close to when Jay Briscoe won the Ring of Honor title and Ring of Honor. Similar dates. Um, and it was very emotional. You saw his parents there, his daughters there, and it was beautiful. It was the code of honor was upheld, and it was really good. And the announcing, man, Ian Riccaboni, Nigel McGuinness, awesome stuff. They were all great. It was just, it was very hard hitting too. The match was itself, but it was a really great moment. It was a good feel good moment for WrestleMania weekend, and for Mark Briscoe.
So is it just against company policy to like put like actual wrestling matches like you're describing on their pay-per-views? Because like Mark Briscoe's gonna be in a six-man and Dynasty. Meanwhile, this shit happened in Ring of Honor. This could have happened in a pay-per-view, right? Like it's like
It was on pay-per-view.
no, well, you know what I mean? Like a pay-per-view that they promoted, that they
Yes,
like,
that's fair.
and like I'm gonna watch this match. I will, because I love Eddie Kingston and Mark Briscoe to death, and I love Hikaru Shida. I think I've said this on another show we had, but could you just imagine if right out the gate when Mark Briscoe started wrestling again, right out the gate, because this guy doesn't need to prove himself to anybody. Right out the gate, they just got behind this guy as one of the top baby faces of the company, showed him on TV. Like he doesn't have to wrestle every week. Like cut promos, because he can literally cut a promo like he's breathing. He's a walking promo, Mark Briscoe. There are guys I see on TV that struggle to say their names. This Mark Briscoe can cut a promo by just, you put a camera in his face, he'll probably just start cutting a promo. That's how good he is.
Yeah, like before we started recording, you talked about, you know, Triple H saying moves or special effects. Mark
Yes.
Briscoe, the Briscoes notoriously, they did a lot of moves, but in between the moves, they showed a lot of intensity and
They
psychology.
knew how to work.
Yeah, they knew how to
They knew
work.
how to work.
They knew how to connect with the crowd, and it was they create a certain aura of feeling of like a big fight, a big brawl. It's just you just can't take your eyes off it. It's more than just the move that they do. It this is it was amazing. It was a great moment. Go out of your way to see it. Wasn't so long. Wasn't like 44 minutes like the Bloodline and Cody and Seth, but it was really good. All right. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
If I was listening, sorry if I sound hot. Peter gave me like just the worst possible news before this podcast, and you're gonna see it on Wednesday night. And if you watch Dynamite, yeah, yeah. But anyway,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Let's try to talk about a good wrestling show.
Right.
Wait, I'm sorry. What else from the Ring of Honor card did you want to talk about? Because
That's it.
Okay.
I think Tony Khan's mentality is he wants to like, you know, restart Ring of Honor as a brand, but to make it significant, you need television, and you don't have a streaming service like WWE had where you can do an hour of NXT on the network and do shows quarterly. They're doing the show part, but like the TV part, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like no one's going out of their way to watch Ring of Honor TV on Honor Club. They're just not. So maybe that's his mentality. But you know, we'll see, because I thought the last couple of years of Ring of Honor, at least when Tony Khan bought it, it was some of the best shows they've done in a long time. So I really like what they did here. Just hopefully they just continue the momentum. Anyway, enough about Ring of Honor. WrestleMania 2 nights. Night 1, Saturday. First up, we had a banger. Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, Women's World Championship match. What are your thoughts?
I put in my notes 5 top 5s out of 5. This match was excellent. This match was just fucking excellent. Everything I've been complaining about that like certain shows or matches have been missing, these two like gave it in dividends. It wasn't even that long, but I didn't want it to end. It was like, oh wow, like I wanted to see like 5 or 10 more minutes, because they were just everything they were doing, every little thing to like a freaking Irish. Yo, Rhea Ripley, man. You ever notice how a lot of people don't do fucking Irish whips like good anymore? Like they just, oh, let shove you into the ropes and and take my move. Rhea Ripley gave Becky Lynch a real fucking Irish whip and gave the sickest drop kick next to Okada, like an AJ. Like every little thing they did in this match was so sick. Like it just like to the selling, to just like the story they're telling. It was like it was a fight. It was an opening match that I forgot was an opening match.
Yeah, but this card, both nights were so stacked that I didn't really care that much that they were opening the show. But I thought it was a great moment for Rhea, and Judgment Day had a great weekend. But we will get to that.
Oh yeah.
And I'm glad, because we talked about it on a review show, that I think the right move is to keep Rhea strong, and I don't think it's the time to beat her yet. I think they should build up more challengers for her, maybe Jade Cargill down the line or something like that, before we decide, okay, it's time for her to lose. But don't think it's that time yet. And she doesn't need a 4-year title reign like Roman Reigns, but she's on fire right now, and it's, you know, I don't see it ending anytime soon. I think they should keep going with Rhea until they build up some more challengers, and or another hot baby face gets over.
Yeah, like this was for the world title, right?
Yeah, the women's world title.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, they really the people make the title, and these two showed that, man. Like I wasn't even mad that Rhea retained, honestly. Because
No,
like
not at all.
no, man, like I'm Yeah, like this match was really cool. Honestly, kind of left me like I was just like my jaw was on the floor watching it like the whole time. Like
Yeah, in
so.
Brooklyn they were chanting "mommy," so
Oh
that
yeah.
tells you everything. Well, this is not everything, but she's on fire right now. So keep it going. Let's move on to the six-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed tag team championships. So initially, they said that both sets of titles had to be retrieved for the match to end. But what they didn't say, they didn't elaborate on, was that if a team gets the Raw belt or the SmackDown belt, then they become the Raw champion or the SmackDown champion. So, what are your thoughts on how they went about executing this? Because Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, they won the SmackDown championship, and Truth and Miz won the Raw titles.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the moment that they announced that Grayson Waller and what the hell, Austin Theory took the blue belts, and the match was still going on, I was like, I lost it lost a little steam for me because it's like, oh, this feels like fucking Vince era shit. It's just like, oh, we need two different winners for a ladder match. Jesus Christ. I mean, whatever. They're the title. Aren't it? Because no. I kind of had a bad feeling when the match started and you still saw the two separate titles up there. I had a bad feeling because like if this is WrestleMania and this is for the undisputed tag team titles, why haven't they made this one single set of tag titles yet? Their tag division is not that deep. They don't put that much effort into their tag division to have two sets of tag titles. Again,
I
again.
I didn't I wasn't sour on the fact that there needs to be like two sets of like there were two winners, right? I wasn't really upset about that because you do still have separate shows and all that stuff. But I wish they would have explained that. I wish they would have said, listen, this match is also for the Raw and SmackDown. So you can grab the SmackDown belt and be the champion, or you can grab the Raw belt and be the champion there too. But they didn't explain it. So I think the crowd was a little confused. They were like, is the match over? Is it not over? But I will say when the crowd figured out, oh, it's for each belt separately, they were like, okay, great, and they got really into Truth and Miz winning, which I thought was great because
No,
it's
and
about
that was
time.
fun.
Yes, I think it was about time for Truth to get a big win on a big stage because he's been there since like what 2008, and they haven't been doing a lot with him, and he's really over, which is crazy. He's got a great connection with the fans, but they don't do anything with him. If it was anybody else, they would have been dead in the water. But they finally did something with him. They gave him a great moment. I just hope again, momentum is the story here. They got to keep it going. They got to keep this going.
No, but the thing is, like, and like Truth and Miz winning, because like they were the most like, other than the Judgment Day, they were like the only tag team I like regarded in this match. Like, and for God's sake, imagine how much cooler it would have been if they had had both sets of belts. Because people clearly cared about that. When fucking Austin Theory and Grayson Waller took the belts, no one gave two goddamn shits.
I think
That's
it's
the
because they
problem.
didn't know the WWE didn't explain the rules of this match. I think it wouldn't have been that different, but if they were aware of the rules before the match started, it would have been a little different. But I'm not saying that Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are they have the most heat right now, even as heels. But at least on the SmackDown end of things, they were really getting us behind the New Catch Republic because Pete Dunne reclaimed his name. He's no longer Butch. They really did a lot of vignettes about that. I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna go with this. Maybe they'll win down the line, and maybe they'll do a program with Pretty Deadly because they've been airing a lot of vignettes about them too. They've been getting pushed too. So maybe they're really gonna go hard with the draft and really split up the shows, which is fine. Listen, you have all these belts, split them up. Great. Just be consistent with it. That's all I ask.
I don't know. It's just like I don't know, like like I'm kind of glad that Pete Dunne and his boy didn't win the blue belts because then no one would have cared because no one, you know what I mean, like it kind of takes steam out of it. Like, like one definitive winner in a ladder match always like it always just like there's always more feeling attached to it, That's the only thing.
Yeah,
But
I
other than
get that.
that, the
I
match
get it.
was fun.
Yeah,
Like
like remember what we were talking about 4 years ago with ladder matches? How guys and girls, the ladder match is just let's do a bunch of stuff instead
yep.
of actually climbing the ladder and grabbing the belts. This time they were doing that. Yes, was there spots and stuff?
For the most
Yes,
part, yeah.
there were, but it was because somebody was climbing and someone else was stopping that person from climbing. Great. That's all I asked for. That's all I asked for. In that regard, I think we can agree on that.
Like my favorite part of the match was when I think Damien Priest was trying to chokeslam someone off the ladder, and I'm not sure what happened, but like they was gonna go for the chokeslam, but I think something happened, and at a point he let go of the guy that he was gonna chokeslam, and they both just jumped off the ladder.
Yeah.
like
Since there's so much stuff going on, let's skip ahead to Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso.
Oh, yeah, I have thoughts on this.
Yeah, what do you think about this one?
This is a good match that could have been great had it not had one spot. And before I say this, Jey and Jimmy Uso, the Usos have the best super kick in the business right now.
I agree.
They have the coolest looking super kick. They treat it like a move that hurts you. And with that being said, they kind of hurt themselves by having a super kick party. Look, if you like Young Bucks style super kick parties where everyone's doing a bunch of super kicks that no one really sells, really, they just kind of stagger and let me give you a super kick. Like, you know what would have been cooler than a super kick party, especially with these two? Like, Jey gives a super kick and gets a 2 count. Jimmy gets a super kick, gets a 2 count. They both super kick each other and they die. And everyone's like clapping and one of them struggles to get a pin. Like, I don't know. But other than that, everything else they were doing, look, these two are just, they wrestle like water flows. They're incredible. That literally is the one moment of this match that I was critiquing. But other than that, like, and I wish the match, for what they were building, the match could have been like 5 minutes longer. You feel me? Like, but it was good. It was good. I don't know. I guess I was expecting Sean and like Owen shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I wish they could have you know, did more. They tried. They did different style of kicks. If you just want to do kicks or elbows and stuff like that, mix it up a little bit more, and maybe
yeah,
at
Jay
the
did
end
a
do what
flying
you
super
said.
kick, which looked kind of cool. But
Yeah,
he didn't. No one sold it. I don't know.
maybe towards the end do what you did, just trade super kicks and then sell it, and then kind of struggle to cover. That would have been great. But I just think honestly, they should just be a team again. Put them back
Yes.
together. That's it.
Especially since there's 2 separate tag titles again.
Exactly.
You need
100%.
tag teams, for God's sake. God's sake.
Let's move on to okay, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Damage Control. There's not really much to say about this match, but doesn't mean it was bad. It was really good. Like, it was a good showcase for Jade, and she looked great. And she did the Paul Heyman thing. Find your strengths, hide your weaknesses. She's not going to go out there and wrestle for 35 minutes. Like, find a few things you can do well and just do it. And that's really it. That's really all I can say about this.
What did you think of Naomi jogging the ropes?
Oh my God. I don't
Not
know
running,
what happened.
jogging ropes.
It was not a pretty sight. But yeah, everyone looked good for the most part. It was fine. It was cool. It's just to get Jade Cargill some shine.
Yeah,
What do you think about this?
Jade and Bianca were, and Asuka and Kyrie, they were, but mainly Jade and Bianca were the MVPs of this match. And Asuka like made them look like superstars as usual.
Yep.
Oh, one little thing I wanted to say about the Jay and Jimmy match. Jay came out to a Millie.
That was cool.
Like, we talked about that. He came out to a Millie. I wish, but then he transitioned into his song. But I wish the whole time he just came out to a Millie. But that was cool though.
That was really cool. This is a hip hop WrestleMania. You got Meek Mill introducing. You have Lil Wayne performing a Millie. Then you have Snoop Dogg doing commentary. That was all great.
We've come a long way from the days of Pete Rock at fucking, not Pete Rock. What the hell? Kid Rock.
Oh,
Pete Rock is great.
Don't
Kid
remind
Rock.
me.
We
And
came.
Limp Bizkit.
Sorry, I'm sorry about that correction. Yeah, Kid Rock. We came from a long way from the days of Kid Rock.
Oh, thank
Shit.
goodness. Yeah. All right. Moving on to Sami Zayn Gunther, Intercontinental title. What'd you think of this?
Oh, amazing. This was amazing. Oh my God. Like this was ill. Even like the opening, like with Sammy walking to the ring and Chad Gable, he did another Rocky 3 thing and he was like, you remember, you owe me. Like Apollo did to Rocky, and Kevin Owens just like like giving the best hug ever and firing him up. And Sammy and Gunther is just perfect. This match was amazing. This match was so sick. God
Nothing.
damn.
There was nothing wrong here. Nothing wrong.
Yeah. I gotta watch this again. Oh, and Sammy, I gotta give credit to Sammy's wife. Like, usually when people bring their families to to the matches, and like it's very clear when some of the families are acting. The thing is, everything his wife did looked amazing. You wanna know why? Because she wasn't fucking acting. She was watching his match
It was
and
all
reacting.
real. It was real emotion,
Like
real reactions.
she was probably thinking, why are these fucking cameras on me? I'm just trying to watch my husband. I'm trying to watch my husband not die. He's getting killed by this jackass.
Yeah,
like it,
it was great. It was just chop, 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 chop. Big brain buster on
oh my god, he
turnbuckle.
did the freak. He hasn't done that in years.
Yeah, it was
He
insane.
hasn't done that in freaking years. Like I have Sami Zayn use that move in the video games. Like, oh, he's never gonna do this move again. And holy crap. Like what a night to bring it out at WrestleMania. Like all this, you're trying to beat Gunther. You're trying to beat a guy that can literally kill you with his bare hands. So pull out all the stops, and he did, man.
Yeah, this is just great storytelling, and it was, you going in, okay, he's got to win this because they brought the family thing. He's hanging out with his son and wife backstage, and he's got to win. They pulled the trigger, and because last year they didn't, he didn't beat Roman. He won the tag titles last year, main eventing WrestleMania with Kevin Owens, but they didn't really do anything with that, really. A few good matches on pay-per-view and on TV, but other than that, they didn't really do much for their they split them up rather abruptly, but they gave Sami Zayn a huge title win on WrestleMania, and Gunther hasn't been beaten in 2 years, so it was really special. And hopefully, again, momentum. Keep it going.
And without spoiling our later talk in the podcast, Gunther's free. You know what I mean? And who's
He
champion?
is. He definitely is.
It can revive a certain thing from Royal Rumble. I don't know when it's gonna be, but it can happen.
Yeah, you're right.
It can happen.
All right, the main event of Saturday, we have the Bloodline versus Cody and Seth. 44 minutes. Now, okay, tell me what you think of the match length and just the match overall.
Everything that was in the match, despite with The Rock, is gonna be a lot of pomp and circumstance, the long entrances, and it's his credit, it's not even an insult. The Rock and Randy Orton remind me of each other because they know when to slow things down so that the camera catches it. And I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. And also The Rock looked great. I mean, saying that Roman, Rollins and Rhodes look great is like saying, "Oh yeah, water's wet." They look great, and The Rock looked really good.
Oh my God.
The match was
He was so great. 50-something years old, hasn't wrestled in well over a decade, really. He was phenomenal here. Like, he wasn't as fast as he was in 2000 because he's older, but he did only small things very well. And he was just outstanding here. Everybody was great here. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, the last time Rock was wrestling was the 2 matches he wrestled John Cena. That's when The Rock was like, whoa, holy shit. That was when he was wrestling. But
and this wasn't a wrestling match. It shouldn't have been. Yeah, it was
but
great.
The thing is, the wrestling was good in the sense that all the work was so good. I think the only reason why we were so tired, at least for me, I was so tired during this match only because it was a long show, and not because it dragged. There's just a lot of good stuff in the show. And also, I had the itis from all the wings we ate. We had Wingstop.
Yeah, right.
Tired. 100%. I'm gonna rewatch this match because there was a lot of good things in this match. I
rewatched it today, and with a fresh perspective, it's better. It's better than I remembered. It's phenomenal. You know what this was? This was a Jim Crockett promotion style brawl mixed with some
Yep.
ECW. This was
Yeah.
like Flair and Terry Funk
Like
and
actual ECW, not just hardcore shit. Like
no, not
actual
just people like
ECW
cutting
shit.
each other open with weed whackers. No. There was
No.
garbage cans. It was crowd brawling. It was a lot of swearing.
Oh my! Oh yeah, no. There was amazing. Like at the end, like where Rock got like a tag on Roman. You hear Rock like this. The visual and the audio was amazing. Rock was like dead. He was like sliding down the ring, like but you could hear him go to Roman. Get that piece of shit, like in Starface, like in
Yeah,
Scarface. Like,
it was great.
yeah.
This was so good. I loved it so much. Yeah, like we talked about the bloodline winning, setting up Sunday, another obstacle for Cody to overcome in finishing his story. And I think the bloodline winning was the right move. And it really, I think that the reaction Cody got on Sunday from winning was because of the result of the Saturday match, I think.
Yeah, you know what? Like I said, if this was like if Vince was still running things, Seth would have turned on Cody right after this match.
Oh, of course.
He's like, "Oh, one thing went wrong. You're not my friend anymore, and I hate you." Like,
No,
nah, like
if Vince was running things, the tag match wouldn't have happened.
we wouldn't even be talking about this show if it's was
No,
still running.
no, it wouldn't be Cody versus. It would be Cody. It would be The Rock versus Roman. That's what it would have been.
Yeah. No,
But
no, no, no.
this
They
was
took
great
the
stuff.
loss to the chin.
There
They
was
did.
some really good, a lot of good callbacks. The Rock had Seth in a sharpshooter, and the way Cody broke it up is that he slapped him across the face. Yeah, perfect. Love it. Okay, so let's move on to Sunday. Oh, did you have anything else to add about this match?
Yeah, 4 Brahma Bulls out of 5. This was awesome.
Oh, great. Okay.
I know, like on my notes, I put like little emotion, like emoticons to remind
Yeah.
me how much I like the match because it was a long night. It was long. It was a long 2 days. So
Okay, kicking things off on Sunday, it was Drew and Seth, but I really want to talk about the aftermath of this. And of course, Drew won, but after Drew won, he got in CM Punk's face and he rubbed it in his face and he was gloating and all this other stuff. And when Drew stood up, he tripped him and he started beating him up and he started stomping him out in loafers. I've never seen CM Punk get into a brawl in wrestling in a suit. He took off his brace. He started beating Drew up and the crowd was going nuts and he's stomping him out in loafers. And then Damien Priest comes out and CM Punk gets
bro,
out
the
of Dodge.
look on Punk's face when he like when he saw when he heard the Judgment Day music,
Yeah.
he at first was like, "Wait, they're gonna beat me up." Oh no, wait. I know what I know what this is. The look on Punk's face was like,
Priceless. What do you think of
nah.
Damien cashing in on Drew here?
I mean, look, as much as I hate the Money in the Bank, and as much as I hope that this is the last Money in the Bank we'll ever do, I am happy a Boricua is a world champion,
No cap.
and
No cap.
he did it like And you know the thing is, he didn't do it when I expected him to do it. I thought he was gonna do it right after the 3 count, but you can imagine that he bided his time and waited for Drew McIntyre's hubris to fuck him over. Because that's like honestly, it's like at first, like I criticize that like Drew McIntyre's whole character is that he's a CM Punk hater, but I'm like, wait a minute, that actually like amounted to something because the fact that because Drew is amazing, obviously, but the fact that his obsession with Punk not only got him to another stratosphere in terms of a character, but also his own hubris costed him the greatest moment of his career. So, like, as a storyteller, my God, yeah, I gotta give my hats off to Drew here.
Magic. It was
Like,
all great. It
yeah,
was,
like
and
Drew, like,
I love the fact that Damian Priest is the first Puerto Rican world champion since Paige Morales. And I think it would be cool since Damian is a New Yorker, they do a match at City Field
oh
with
shit,
Damian Priest defending, just like Pedro did against Bruno Sammartino at Shea Stadium way back when. That would be a great just callback. That would be awesome. But anyway,
no, yeah,
yeah, this was
you can
great
have like
storytelling. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, you're saying?
No. You go.
No, like you can have like maybe Punk and Drew fight to see who fights Priest. because
Oh no,
Drew is not done with Punk anymore. He's still not done with Punk.
I honestly think you do Drew and Damien cash at the Classel or whatever in Scotland, right?
Oh yeah.
And then Drew wins, and you do Drew and Punk whenever.
Mm.
SummerSlam or what, whenever Punk's ready. I don't care what.
But,
I don't care. I don't care when. Just as long as it happens.
but I hope I hope Punk ripping. I don't know. Like when I woke up the morning, when I woke up Sunday morning, I thought, okay, I had I imagine, oh, what if Punk at the end of the match, Drew tries to fuck with him and he rips off his cast and fights him, and I'm like, nah, I shouldn't expect too much. I'm just happy seeing Punk's there in commentary, and that literally fucking happened.
Yes.
The moment he ripped off his cast, I was like, I'm dreaming here. I'm like, I hope that's a sign that he's healthier and that he's healed. I hope he doesn't rush back into this, because I just wanna I want the guys here, everyone here, to be healthy. Even some of the people I don't like. I just want everyone to be healthy and not, rush their injuries. But I was just happy. Everything in this match was amazing. And we weren't even talking about the match. The match was sick. Drew and Seth were just, this was awesome. This was so sick. This is amazing.
I like this match a lot. It was right to the point, no filler. It was all killer.
Oh yeah.
I liked how it started off with Drew just kicking him in the face. But I will say this. I didn't like the fact that Seth Rollins had an elaborate entrance on Sunday. I wish he came out to his song and the crowd sings a song, but he's walking and limping and he's showed that he was in pain, that he went through a grueling match last night. They could have done a better job of just selling that drama a little bit.
Well, to Corey Graves' credit, he tried to do something on commentary where he said that, oh, maybe Seth is having this elaborate, goofy entrance to cover up his injuries. And honestly, that's kind of an intelligent thing to say. He might have been doing
up. He was taped up, and Punk alluded to too. He wrestled one of the longest WrestleMania main events. So they did try, but I wish, at least on Seth's part, coming out with just no elaborate entrance, is coming out ready to go and kind of in pain. That would have been a little bit better. But overall, I thought this whole thing was just great. The way it was very well done.
Honestly, and another thing, and we talk about this a lot. You don't need 4 people on commentary. If Punk is doing guest commentary, just have him and McAfee or something like that, because Punk on commentary sounded fucking dope. He
does it for UFC, not UFC, but he does it for MMA. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, yeah. Well, that explains it. Nah, he just he wasn't playing a guy be on commentary. He was taking it seriously. I respect that. I guess that was the story. Punk was just trying to do his job. He was just trying to have a good time, not trying to get in the way of anybody. And then some prick tries to start some shit with him. Punk's like, look, man, I don't want to do this. And he keeps pressing. And then he took off the suit and tie and, beat the shit out of him. It was great. Right. I love it.
Let's move on to LA Knight and AJ Styles.
Oh,
I really enjoyed this match. Because I always knew LA Knight as a great personality. But since he got to WWE and has been getting over, and at first I was not a fan of the name LA Knight. I'm like, LA Knight, but it's fine. It's grown on me.
Give him some Jay-Z to come out to, man. Give him some Jay-Z to walk out.
He needs a better song. His song's horrible, but I never really saw, at least in TNA and in NWA, bell to bell, how LA Knight is. And we saw that here. And he was working against one of the best, which is AJ Styles. They put on a hell of a match. And this was a great big win for LA Knight, because they realize, okay, this guy's getting over. He's got to beat somebody credible. He lost to Roman Reigns, but we can keep this guy strong by, giving him a big win against a legend like AJ Styles. What'd you think of all this?
This match was explosive.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
AJ, obviously LA Knight is an amazing worker. He, when NWA Power, what was on YouTube, some of the best shit you will ever see from that, if you watch those episodes, stuff where you see LA Knight, or where he was Eli Drake or whatever. But he he's obviously just a great worker right down to the bone. But freaking AJ Styles, he makes even the smallest things he does look so explosive and powerful and painful. Like, just even every time, even when he does springboard moves, he looks like he does it with intent to hurt, not intent to entertain, not intent to look flashy. Like, he everything he does looks phenomenal, everything, but he does everything with the intent to hurt. And LA Knight, and like obviously, like all the like they fought everywhere. These two have fought everywhere they've been at. They've fought at WWE World. They fought. I don't know if you saw footage of that.
Yes, I did.
They were trying. LA Knight was trying to grapple him. AJ as a grapple. Like, obviously, AJ does a lot of crazy moves and shit. But as a grappler, AJ is still like. There's a reason why people call him the best in the world, because not only can he do a lot of crazy shit, but he can just freaking grapple you. Like that footage looked. I imagine some people who were there, I'm sure they were like taking videos with their phones, but they probably like, oh shit, he's actually grappling that guy. Like, yeah, this match was awesome. I wanted it to be longer, a little bit. This a little bit longer,
Right.
but it was.
The build up to this match was a little hokey, but
Oh yeah,
when the bell rung, they knocked it out of the park. So I give them credit for that. Okay, so Bayley and Io Sky WWE Women's Championship. What'd you think?
Oh, you don't want to talk about Orton and KO carrying the dipshit?
What is there to say? This really.
Randy Orton did a cool RKO towards the end, but
it was fine.
But, yeah,
I liked it. It was good.
Like, the one thing I have to say about that, if it was Orton and KO, just those two, it would have been incredible. Because all the shit that Randy and KO were doing, I have to say that they were amazing. They were fucking amazing.
Yeah, it was good, but there's nothing else to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Logan Paul retains, and I don't care. It was fine.
I just had to give Orton and KO their flowers. I wrote RKO because they're amazing.
They were the stars of this match. Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna do something with Randy, but yeah, maybe that was the night to do it, but whatever. It wasn't bad. It was quite good actually, but
or have KO win something like his friend won something the night before, like the night before. I don't know.
Yeah. All right,
it's fine.
Let's move on to something of importance. Bayley and Io for the WWE Women's Championship. This is more to talk about here. This is a much better story. So, what did you think?
I wrote on my notes, "I'll take you to war." Like, you remember that iconic John Cena segment with Edge and Christian where
how can I forget?
Beat the shit out of him backstage, and you just hear him go, "I'll take you to war. I'll take you to war." That's right. Literally what Bayley did in the video package. Like, and yeah, this match was excellent. All they did was work the leg. Bayley went for, we see a lot of people do suicide dives. Bayley went for an actually dangerous looking suicide dive. And at first I was like, oh no, you went a little too low. But then when she landed on her leg, I'm like, oh shit, I know what they're doing. And Io kept working her leg for the whole match. Bayley was selling like a freak, and she was still managing to do stuff I've never seen her do before. Like, and obviously Io is just amazing. She literally, like, she has Sky in her name for a reason. Like, this match had great psychology, great selling. They sang for Bayley for the entire match. The Bayley Would Be My Girl song. It wasn't even like a distracting thing. They just love Bayley so much. And Bayley, and it wasn't like, but every time something important happened in the match, they were into it. They just love Bayley so much. Like, when things started kicking into high gear, man, they had the crowd in the palm of their hands. This match was excellent. It was just excellent.
Bayley was cemented. She was already a star, but I guess Vince or whoever didn't really care about her as much as Charlotte and Becky and Ronda. And now you have Rhea Ripley, you have Becky Lynch, you have Bayley, you got Jade Cargill, and then Charlotte when she comes back. You have legitimate women superstars that can draw you money, and that could be main events on shows, and not just putting women on the main event just because. No, you're putting women on the main event because they are gonna draw money because they're stars, just like the men. Even they're over. Bayley, I would argue Bayley is way more over than like a Logan Paul or something like that. Or somebody else.
Yes, she is.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, she is.
yeah. Logan Paul is quote unquote, from the
I
crossover.
mean, he has like YouTube followers, but there's a lot
Yeah,
of there's millions of dipshits on YouTube that will watch anything. Like,
I'm
you know what I'm
sure of it.
saying?
But like, if you put Bayley in a main event, you put Logan Paul as an example. The Bayley show is going to draw more money.
Yeah.
It's just a fact.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this is great, and Bayley winning the Royal Rumble. This was all picture perfect. Love it.
No, like, and like it's like, and Bayley was actually given a chance to be herself. She's always been a good wrestler. She's always
Yep.
been put in bad gimmicks, but this is a chance. She was put in a position where she can just be herself and have a clear goal. You fucking betrayed me. I want my title. That's what you're gonna give me. That's the price you pay for talking shit about me in front of me. I want your title. And she took that shit.
100%.
And Io Sky was just like ill. She was just,
I think we can see an evolution too.
I hope so. I don't know, man. Let. I would love to. I would love that. I would love that. Honestly,
Yep.
it's long overdue. It can be like 2 hours. It's long overdue, but like really, most importantly, just let if someone is really good at something, let them be good at that thing and let them grow. Because Bayley, like Roman, like many people, her only issue back in the day is that she wasn't the greatest talker. She got better at that to back up her in-ring skill, and look how much better she is now.
Yeah, she wasn't just like a naive, smiling, stupid baby face. Now she's a baby face that can whip your ass if you step out of line.
And people
She,
still love her to death.
yeah, and she still has that edge that she's wanted to have for years, and it's great. I'm excited for the future of Bayley. So main event time Sunday: Cody versus Roman, Universal title. What do we think?
I'm gonna be cliche. This was electrifying.
It was.
This was fucking electrifying. I mean, it was. I mean, the last year's match they had was amazing. Wrong ending. This match was even better with the right ending. Now, there was some hoopla. I mean, look, but at the same time, it's like the hoopla was sensical because, like, yeah, Roman was gonna have all of his boys come out. Now Cody needed some. Now one of Cody's boys was injured and he still came out, but he had two other guys to back him up too. Three. He had Jay in order. He had Jay back him up. John Cena, which was nice to see, and yo, Cena. It wasn't no I'm back, I'm here WrestleMania moment. Cena ran to the ring and beat the crap out of Solo because Solo was the one that took him out. We saw Solo's one that took him out, so he went straight for him. He wasted no goddamn time. He didn't even throw his hat in the audience. He might have, but he just went straight for Solo, whipped his ass. But then The Rock came out and they had that really cool stare down.
Yeah, it was great.
Beat him up. But then, what did you think about The Undertaker coming out?
I thought it was great. I thought it was cool. Very it was unexpected, and it shows you that like the Rock has authority with TKO, but the Undertaker, at least from an insider perspective, he's he was the locker room leader. He's the guy that everyone respects. The WrestleMania streak. So he was protecting the company from the bloodline takeover kind of thing. You know what I mean? I thought it was cool, and there was just callbacks on callbacks on callbacks. Jay
with
helping
Seth?
Cody. Yeah.
With Seth. Seth came out in the Shield gear.
Yes.
But that actually is really symbolic because he said to Cody, he promised him, and he kept his promise. I will be your shield. In a double entendre parallel, Roman hit Seth with the same shot that Seth gave Roman when he betrayed him in the Shield years ago. But also, it was another instance where Roman's hubris cost him the match. And Seth literally was Cody's shield. Roman could have hit Cody with the chair and won the match, but he decided to let his own hubris hit Seth, and Seth literally kept his promise that he was Cody's shield in this match. He was.
I didn't think he needed to dress up as in the Shield garb. He could have just came out as good old Seth Rollins and just try to repeat that spot. We all wouldn't figure it out. He didn't
I get it.
That was unnecessary. But I thought all the hoopla was necessary. Because they were just paying off all the stories they've been telling for the last year and change in relation to the bloodline. And it kind of reminded me of ECW. You watched the WrestlePalooza '97, Tommy Dreamer and Raven. That was the first night that Tommy Dreamer finally beat Raven, and there was hoopla on hoopla on hoopla. Granted, not all everything related to Tommy Dreamer and Raven, but yeah, I thought it was great. It definitely they're in Philadelphia. They did a Philadelphia style of match, and it also reminded me of Terry Funk and Ric Flair. And you had the Great Muta come out and attack Sting, and it was just a lot of different. It just chaos happened. Like it just
But it
got
wasn't
things got out of
nonsensical,
hand.
you know?
Yeah, it all made sense. It would just wasn't just random. And I thought it was perfect. And it was just like you said, it was electric and it was moving. It was 4 years of storyline paying off. And on the WWE Instagram, and on their all their socials, they're like, "Yeah, Cody finished the story." No, now we're starting a new book.
Yeah.
There's so many other things you can do here. And Cody winning, you have his wife in the ring, you have his mom in the ring, you have a bunch of the people that Cody knows and who is friends with, like Randy
Oh, and
Orton, he has history with.
Even Phil was in the ring. You didn't
CM
even
Punk
see a
was
Punk
in the
in the ring.
ring, and
Yeah.
they lifted him up, and it was just a beautiful moment. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens was there. It was
Like
just
they remembered everything,
yeah,
even like the moment, like at first, like with some people might forget why Sammy was out there, but at a time, Sammy and Cody were fighting for that spot, and
yeah.
Sammy still came out to support him. And Punk, despite like they called back to every cool moment that happened this year on Raw between Cody and Seth, between Cody and Sammy, and between Cody and Punk. Punk wanted Cody's spot too, but he accepted that Cody beat him and Cody was the better man. And he was there and he was there to show respect either way, but when Punk comes back again, he could be like, "Oh, I watched as you had your moment. Now it's going to be my moment." Like, you know what I mean? Like there's like you said, there's so many things you can do.
This is a new and different WWE that I've been wanting to see for as long as I've been a fan. Just really cohesive storytelling, compelling personalities, really great wrestling, and just a very memorable show. You're in touch with the fans, or listening to the fans. They're testing our patience, and not in a bad way. They see, okay, last year, he could have won there. But honestly, when I was there, I was like, yeah, he should have won. But like, okay, I want to see what they're gonna do. And again, I was right to be patient. I was
You
right
were
to
right to be
see
patient.
to see it through because I
I
trust
was the
that.
curmudgeon. I was the curmudgeon. I was like, "What the fuck? They fucked it." But you were right. No, you were right.
No, no, but again, it's fair to be a curmudgeon because WWE they have had a history of really, just building a distrust with their audience and making us feel like idiots for supporting your heroes, because the guy in charge changed his mind and he just trying to recreate what already works. He was like a top 40 radio station. Just play the hits. Don't take chances. And they're taking chances. And they're taking good calculated risks here, putting the belt on Sami Zayn, putting the belt on Damien Priest, putting the belt on Cody Rhodes. And honestly, I don't care what's going on in the rest of, I like AEW for all it's worth, and I love what WWE is doing. This is my favorite time of pro wrestling. I've never loved wrestling more than I do now, ever.
If you want a fun live show, look, we've been to a lot of great AEW live shows.
Yeah,
It shows that you don't really have to watch their TV to enjoy. And like there's always something there for you to enjoy, even if like some of the main acts aren't the greatest. But man, last night, the last two nights, that was professional wrestling.
this is the
It,
standard. It's the new standard.
for the first time in a long time, WWE put the fucking wrestling in the acronym.
Yeah.
For the forefront. And I had one more question for you because like this is just more so a reach, but could you imagine? And it was great to see the Undertaker. It was cool to see Undertaker look like he literally just rode there on his bike and just walked into the arena. But what if the last person to help Cody Rhodes instead of the Undertaker was MJF? Could you imagine like a guy wearing like a jumpsuit, he has like a hood on, and you just see him punch The Rock in the face, and all of a sudden they zoom in on his hand and he has a diamond ring on and he takes off his hood and it's fucking Max.
The crowd would have shat themselves.
That would have been the illest way to debut MJF. And he hugs Cody at the end, and like, because Cody talks about how he wants to bring him in.
That would have been crazy. That would have been crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I just think that this is the standard that I wish all wrestling promotions would do. It doesn't matter who it is or what you do. Just pick one person, pick two people, and make me care. I don't care what you do. I care about how you get there.
Yeah, and also the matches. Well, yeah, like look, they have some of the best workers in the world here.
Yeah, they just have to make us care about it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, they have some of the. That's the thing. Like, some companies, they try to like, okay, we're just gonna put on good matches every week. And okay, but we look back, well, why the fuck did these matches happen?
Yeah, right.
Here we're gonna rewatch. There's so many amazing. I was thinking about like there's so many amazing promos that happened building up to here. Like there's one I'll mention because I've been talking a lot. Like, when it was a SmackDown promo with Roman and Cody, and Roman was straight up telling Cody, "Yo, you're stupid to me. You're stupid to me. You realize that, right?" And Cody, he had his whole sentiment like, "I'm gonna beat you at WrestleMania, Roman." And then Roman was just like, "Isn't this the same shit you said to the other guy?" You see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, just the way he delivered that. Like, there's so many memorable promos, like, leading up to this. If you go back and rewatch, it was so tight. It was great.
I love how Roman said in this match, he was like, he did the crossroads on Cody, and he looked at Paul. He's like, "This move sucks. This ain't gonna be nobody." Killed me.
Yo, that was reminiscent of when Punk at the Royal Rumble, he did the pedigree, and Punk was like, "Can you believe I did that shit?"
It's funny. Yeah. All right, this WrestleMania was outstanding, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. All right. This is the Wrestling Caucus. I'm Peter A.
I'm Smiley Ariaga, and now we actually have to watch Raw. Apparently,
we actually do. Later days.